Well, welcome into your WrestleMania 30 review. We're going to give you results and a review here, give you our thoughts on what just transpired with WWE WrestleMania 30. Before we get into the review, I'll give you guys a heads up. BlitzSportsNetwork.com. Today I got at WrestleMania 29. I went from WrestleMania 1, and trust me, this was a task. It took me weeks to get through this, and I went and rewatched every WrestleMania, gave my opinion on every match, a rating for every match, and I have every WrestleMania ranked on BlitzSportsNetwork.com, and I'm going to add WrestleMania 30 to that article after we're done with this, and we are going to film, and we'll be posting on the website. Mad Genius, myself, Billy, maybe Jay, a couple other guys, we're going to do a video where we're going to debate, we're going to talk about every WrestleMania for the VIP video for WrestleMania 30, because this, I mean, hey, we're all wrestling fans, right? It's a big deal, WrestleMania 30. We're going to talk about all the WrestleManias. We're going to debate the best, the worst, when it pertains to the shows and the matches. So BlitzSportsNetwork.com. Plus, there's hundreds of other wrestling topics, VIP videos, career articles where I go through wrestlers' entire careers. And you know the crazy thing about it is, the wrestler's career that I'm doing next, The Undertaker, where I'll go through his whole career, all the pay-per-view matches, all the significant moments, tell you what I thought at the time as a fan, how good that I think this match was, that feud, this and that. That's what I've done with all the career articles, and there's so many legends on there already. So BlitzSportsNetwork.com, check that out. All right, let's get into this this review. First thing I will say is we're feeling pretty good on this panel tonight, not feeling too negative in the conversation that we had off the air before we started here. So that may be a change of pace for some of you guys when it pertains to videos we make on the WWE. But the first thing that stuck out like a sore thumb, okay, was the stage and just the grandeur of WrestleMania. It's usually really good. I liked this setup better than MetLife last year. I liked this setup a lot. The aisle with the graphics running up the side of the aisle. Like when Hulk Hogan came out, you had the Hulkamania branding. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So I thought it looked sick. The setup for WrestleMania 30 was awesome. Anything you guys want to add to that?
Wait, about what? One more time?
The setup, the stage.
Oh, it's fairly simple compared to the last 2 years.
But effective, yeah.
Well, yeah, the last 2 years you have the elaborate stuff that involved the city and whatnot, and this year they kind of just went back to basics. And it did look pretty nice. The long entrance ramp. I did have note that people pointed out to me before, when it first got revealed, that for some odd reason it did kind of look shaped like a shovel. The long ramp, and then when you look around the ring, it looked kind of like a shovel from bird's eye view, but it was a decent setup. I like the way the ramp looked, though.
Gotta give a shout out to Oliver Sharp. He said the article is brilliant. He's talking about the WrestleMania article. He says thank you. I'm gonna thank him right now in the comments. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna put out there right here at the beginning of the video, so everybody hears it. I officially bought the WWE Network when WrestleMania 30 ended. I'm in. Not because I think this is all going to be gravy long term, but I said that if they put on a WrestleMania that I felt satisfied with, now not fully satisfied, some of you probably know what I'm alluding to, that I would get the network because I want to go back, watch some old ECW hardcore TV and some of the old school stuff, and I can write articles about some of the things that I watch, and some of the stuff's not available on the internet, so I went ahead and I'm in. So that's where this is going with this review. Except for one match in particular. All right, so the pre-show match, which I didn't get to see, but I want to thank Dave for sending me a link. His dude got me a link, so I could see it. Cause it wasn't on the pay-per-view thing at the restaurant. Like, we didn't see it. It must have only been available on network.
In a network or probably YouTube, I'm guessing.
Well, but I don't know.
I didn't watch it either because I didn't want to sit through 2 hours of promos just to get a quick 10-minute match.
Well, I caught it. I got to watch it, and I ended up finishing watching it during the Undertaker's entrance. I'm not kidding. Um, I did. So watched it on my
Well,
laptop. Okay. So it's the Usos against Ryback and Curtis Axel against the Real Americans against Los Matadores. Thankfully, Los Matadores was the first team eliminated in this match. I was worried they'd get the belts. But El Torito does a dive and you get a holy shit chant. I was just like, huh? Um, Jack Swagger eliminated one of the Matadors with the ankle lock. Cesaro eliminated Ryback and Curtis Axel with the pop-up uppercut and the neutralizer. Cesaro, big night tonight. We'll get to more of that in a little bit. So it came down to the Real Americans versus the Usos. The Usos went over with a double super kick and a double splash. It reminded me of the old school tag teams with the synchronized wrestling, like the Rockers. You know, they always had all the synchronized moves and whatnot, and I like the synchronized stuff. So I thought it was a really good pre-show match. I thought they did a nice job. After the match, you had Jack Swagger, who started yelling at Cesaro for taking the pinfall. Swagger put the ankle lock on Cesaro. Zeb Coulter told Swagger to hug Cesaro, and Swagger extended his hand instead for handshake. The crowd's chanting no. Cesaro shook his hand, double leg takedown, you get the Cesaro swing, so now there's heat between Cesaro and Swagger. So Cesaro, I guess we could call that an official face turn.
yeah, especially after later in the night.
Yeah, especially after later in the night, yeah. So Cesaro, now they're moving him in a direction where you can start talking Money in the Bank and stuff like that, you know. All right, and they seem to be pretty fond of Cesaro with the way that he's used to a certain degree. So I think there's a chance.
He's well liked backstage.
That's good.
Everybody likes him, including you know who, Fuckboy Buckethead.
Oh boy, yeah. You gotta like him, the ultimate politician. You gotta get along with him. And by the way, shout out if you've never watched our stuff on this channel before, go ahead and subscribe. The guy you just heard talking, that's Mad Genius. You can find him at Virtuoso Sports, and the other guy, Billy, you can find him on Scatterjagged on YouTube. So and we all do stuff on blitzsportsnetwork.com. So welcome in to the new guys and ladies, and then thank you to the returning viewers. So WrestleMania starts out, Hulk Hogan comes out, and it's crazy because, you know, again, for that WrestleMania article I did, you know, like I said, I went back and watched every minute of every WrestleMania. It was, man, mind-boggling going back through all those shows, you know. But The Rock, like that promo The Rock cut as the host of WrestleMania 27 to start WrestleMania 27, I remember thinking, all right, Hogan's going to come out, he's going to cut a promo, Hogan's known for botching spots and promos, and it's not going to be that good. I'm thinking, I kind of feel bad for Hogan, you know. This is something that he really, really had a big hand in building with the WWF back in the day. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin was over in he was a crossover star. Hulk Hogan was just the Hulkamania thing. I remember as a younger guy, I mean, everybody watched Hulk Hogan and talked about Hulk Hogan, it seemed like. You know, so I was thinking he's going to be in a tough spot coming out there and cutting a promo, and sure enough, Hogan comes out, cool scene with the Hulkamania colors all over the graphics all over their stage, the Hulkamania stuff all up and down the sides of the aisle. Then he gets in the ring, and he keeps calling the Superdome the Silver Dome.
Shout out to Michigan, my hometown. Shout out.
And I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for Hogan, and I thought he did a good job saving it. You know, he did a good job saving it. You know, well, brother, I was thinking about slamming Andre the Giant. You know,
I appreciate the fact he made fun of himself later in the promo too.
He did, and both Stone Cold and The Rock ribbed him because they came out. So Hogan's in his middle of his promo. Stone Cold comes out, and like right away, tell me you weren't thinking, oh shit, they're gonna set up a match. You know,
worst fear.
Yeah, dude, I thought that. I literally thought that for a minute, and I was like, wait a minute, no, this is 2014. Yeah, Hulk Hogan can't wrestle anymore. You know,
the Undertaker couldn't move. Look at Hogan.
Yeah. Some of these guys who were the heroes back in the day, they're. I mean, look at Ric Flair's last match in WWE. Look at Flair in that match. Remember the one in TNA where him and Hogan were in the tag team match or whatever?
Oh.
And like within 2 minutes, they bladed from temple to temple. You know. Oh man. So anyway, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He asked if you're ready for WrestleMania 30. Give me a hell yeah. He goes into a little promo. It wasn't too long. He put over Hogan, said he respected Hogan for what Hogan's done for the business, which to some of us who remember how Stone Cold felt about some of the backstage stuff at WCW, that was significant. Stone Cold talked about the talent in the back coming out, leaving it all in the ring. He didn't really say much. And then The Rock's music hit, because I'm like, The Rock's coming out. Yeah, we're gonna get this. Before he came out, I'm thinking The Rock's got to come out. And then for 30 seconds, I felt like, oh no, he's not gonna come out. And then he did, and I was like, fuck yeah. Hogan, Austin, and The Rock in the same ring. The Rock, I gotta tell you, The Rock cut an insane promo. That was a very good promo for a guy who's not doing it every week anymore to come out there and cut a promo where he didn't botch anything. I thought, for considering the circumstances, like a 5-star promo from The Rock. He came out, and I thought that him and Stone Cold coming out, probably a good thing, because Hogan was already struggling with that host of WrestleMania promo, and I don't want to see him in that position, But the crazy thing about it is, it's like, remember that old, here, let me give you an example, MG, the old Be Like Mike commercial, where Michael Jordan's playing ball with the kids, and like the ball's bouncing off his head, and he's acting all clumsy. Sometimes that makes someone seem more endearing to people, so I think it almost turned out that way. But when you had the...
Funny how you mentioned Austin not liking Hogan, because Bret Hart just did an interview where he's talking about how him and Austin didn't like Hogan from back in the day.
Oh yeah. Oh, I put that in the Bret and Stone Cold articles. I went into some detail with that. You've read them.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about this. The Rock, Stone Cold, and Hogan in the ring together, I swear I had chills for 10 minutes. The whole time they were out there, I'm like, man, I just can't get rid of these goosebumps. It was such an awesome sight. And after The Rock put that red-hot mic down, they all drank some beer together, and I got to say thank you. Very cool. I enjoyed that. I thought it was a hell of a way to start off WrestleMania. How did you guys feel when you saw them all out there together?
Well, because at first I didn't know what was going on, because at first I, decided not to watch WrestleMania, but after I heard Austin, Hogan, and Rock open up the show, I instantly got on and started watching it. So that tells you how big of a deal it is to me to see those 3 guys in the ring together.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty funny, and like I said, the fact that Hogan was ribbing himself for messing it up, and they were in there having a good time, that was cool. And then you still had that tension between Rock and Austin, even if they're in there chilling together, there's still some tension between them, and that makes it awesome.
It does. You gotta wonder if it's just them kind of working,
Yeah.
like Steve Austin invited The Rock to his podcast. You never heard anything about it. I could see The Rock being like, hell no, I ain't going on there. That'd ruin what we have. We're looked at as the greatest feud of all time. We're not going to be too buddy-buddy.
They don't know how to do it any other way.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I think that if in their primes you had Macho Man and Stone Cold in a feud, we might have a debate here. But, yeah. I mean, as far as... Well, yeah.
Imagine that Macho Man.
It is. But with The Rock, I mean, The Rock and Austin, best in-ring feud of all time, the best. There's been some great feuds too. But Billy, you ended up going ahead and getting the pay-per-view. So, what'd you think? Did you feel like, yeah, this is what I'm paying for? I want to see stuff like this.
Yes, I did get the pay-per-view, so I can get some "you sold out" comments. That's fine.
No, he didn't sell out.
Join the club.
Yeah, well, it happens. WrestleMania, it's $60, whatever. Seeing Hogan and Austin's what really did it for me, because I really wanted to see that match back in the day. Obviously, Hogan and Rock was awesome, but I did really, really want to see that, because those are the 2 most over guys and the most transitional guys that everybody was drawn to. And there's all due respect to The Rock. I mean, he's awesome as shit. I mean, he's the only one that's transitioned to be an actual decent actor, very good actor, actually, in Hollywood, the only one I can think of. Yeah, seeing Hogan and Austin in the ring was kind of cool. I was kind of expecting a stunner for some reason, but
Me
yeah, I liked
too.
Hogan. He kind of just shrugged it off, and when he just kind of shrugged and like, yeah, I fucked up, whatever. And I like that. So yeah, mad respect for that whole segment, man. 10 out of 10.
Oh, what I would give to see him stun Rock one more time and watch The Rock do like 8 backflips.
The Rock would probably try to flip over the top rope just to
Yes!
just to try to one up what he did before.
I would love to see that. It would even matter.
No. Well, it would have been kind of cool if it was just chaos and they all started fighting each other, beers flying everywhere, you know. But I think they did it in really good taste, and they had the three legends get in there and show all that respect for each other. And let's face it, you know, a lot of wrestlers have passed, so for them to get them out there, and this is WrestleMania 30, we wanted it to be a big deal. I kind of wish, I mean, yeah, them coming out, not knowing they were coming out, why not just allude to them being there? You know, I mean, it would have helped the build. You know, it just
I'm
rumors.
surprised they didn't roll Shawn out there, since he is quote unquote Mr. WrestleMania by their standards. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, mad respect to Hogan. If you noticed when he opened his beers, he didn't spill exhaust, and sometimes we'll just smack them together. And they just. My friend one time said, "Do you want to drink any of that fucking beer?" When we were watching it, Hogan actually just opened them up and just chugged them. You could tell he was drinking all of it.
Oh yeah, the true beer drinkers probably get offended when Austin always saw that beer.
I know. He's like, "You want to drink that?" But it's awesome.
Well, I caught something else that last little point here. The Rock took a drink of his beer and looked like he spit it out. Because knowing The Rock, if you follow The Rock on Twitter, I follow him, but I occasionally look at his Twitter page. Same with guys like Hogan and Austin. I'll occasionally look on there and see what pictures they threw up or something. And, you know, The Rock is like a fitness freak. Mm-hmm. And he has his cheat days. The Rock's probably like, I'm not supposed to drink carbs today. You know? So anyway...
Wait. Taker's not as good as he used to be, but he's still good. Excuse me, sir. Did you see tonight's match?
Oh, we'll get to that later.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, all you Taker fans who are pissed off, just wait. We will get to that, because we all have our own points of view and points to bring to the table. If you saw the preview, what I wanted to happen happened. But I think it's a good thing for The Undertaker in multiple ways, and we'll get to that in a bit.
Almost everything. He didn't necessarily rip his head off and start eating it on a plate.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I can't remember who it was that said they wanted to shoot on him. No, someone said
shoot on him.
Yeah, I'm like, all right. So we get a Daniel Bryan video package about his journey, like his way that he defied the odds. You know, they started with him as an NXT guy or whatever that show was back then. I can't even remember now. Yeah, NXT, where he had Miz as his coach, and he, the Miz, where's your personality and all this other bullshit, and like it covered the way that he kind of came up the hard way, and I heard Michael Cole call Daniel Bryan a blue collar guy tonight. Now that is the way that they need to go. That is the fucking...
JBL called him a freaking flying gnome.
Yeah, he's a garden gnome. He's a farm animal. But you know what? I don't have a problem in a certain way with the heel announcer healing it up on him. As long as there's a balance. You know, and you heard Jerry Lawler giving that balance tonight. And I think, by the way, folks, this announce crew sucks. I mean, let's just put that out there. This announce crew has been horrible for a long time.
Talk about a night needing JR with all the stuff that happened.
Fuck, throw JR out there with Jesse Ventura, and we got something. Okay?
If you don't want to go that far, throw JR and Regal out there. Something's better than this.
Yeah, I'd rather have Jesse Ventura, personally. Throw JR out there with Jesse Ventura and Joey Styles. And we got ourselves a badass trio. But this Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler and JBL thing is just a train wreck, man.
I would have just wanted Regal out there for the Bryan matches because I haven't heard a guy call the technical wrestling moves like him in a while since, you know, the Joey Styles and the Paul Heymans of the world. So.
Mm-hmm. Remember when Paul Heyman and Jim Ross did commentary together, though?
Mm-hmm.
That was great. But, so anyway, I thought that video package was well done, very good. If they're going to try to put a guy over strong and give the big payoff after so many months of frustration for a lot of fans, this was the way to do it. You know, you don't want a show to be too predictable, and that's always been a lot of people's complaints. But then when they do something people don't expect, they flip out. But anyway, so Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. Triple H's entrance was pretty badass, and I'm actually going to be doing a Triple H article. Not the biggest Triple H fan, self-admittedly. One thing that he does is entrances. You know, he's got the intensity, the entrances, and then you get the match. Brawling, take him out of the ring, the game. And then you get a spine buster. You get the face breaker. You get the high knee. Oh, he's throwing a DDT this time. You know, like his matches, I hate the pace to his matches and things of that nature. It just, like, there's certain guys I watch wrestle and they impress me. You know, with the weight, the moves that they use and things of that nature. Triple H has never done that for me. But I've always given him credit for having good ring psychology. Sometimes it's a little too slow, but he sells good, and his presentation of himself with the entrance and the intensity and stuff like that is very good. But one of the biggest negatives, well, the two biggest negatives, obviously, was his run with the Golden Shovel, or as I've called it and deemed it now, the Golden Power of Pussy. You know, since he got respected. but I mean, let's face it, yeah.
The G-pop.
Yeah.
You abbreviated the G-pop.
Well, hey, but his offense has never impressed me as a wrestler. So just throwing that out there. But tonight, switched it up a little bit. So I got to give Triple H some credit for that. I thought, you know, Daniel Bryan's entrance was badass in a different way, because as soon as he came out, there wasn't a hand in the place that wasn't going like this. And people can say, well, it's a fad and stuff like that. I don't give a shit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there were a lot of people wearing Austin 316 shirts, and hell yeah, and you want to talk about a fad? What? You know, there's all kinds of guys who have been over the years who fans did the fad. You know what I mean? But Daniel Bryan is legitimately over, and when he came out, the fucking roof came off the place. So that was pretty cool. You know, hey, people don't like Daniel Bryan. I'm not going to argue with them. You guys should like who you like and dislike who you don't like.
Unless his name is John Cena.
Well, even in that case, man, I mean, if you like Cena, then great. We hate
but
Cena.
You can't be over the age of 18.
All right, those are your rules.
Most of them are.
So those are the rules of being a man.
Okay, I mean, I understand the perception of that, but, you know...
Perception?
No, but, I mean...
You can't even defend it.
I'm not trying to defend it, because I don't identify with it. But what I'm saying is that if someone likes him, I'm not going to sit there and look down on him. But, so anyway, the thing I liked about the match is... Like I said, usually the pace of Triple H matches are really boring. And if you look at those Undertaker matches that he had that people think were just like, oh my gosh, they're the greatest matches ever. Chair shots, kicking out of 900 finishers, you know. I like guys who can get in the ring and tell a story without all of the false finishes and all that crap. You know, guys, there was a time where guys didn't need that. A finisher was a finisher. You know, and the thing I liked about this match was the mat wrestling at the beginning. The pace was faster. You even had Triple H trying to use some submission holds and shit, you know, like that he doesn't usually use, which I liked. When Triple H went on the offense, the pace did slow a little too much for me, but I thought overall it was a good match, and big props to Triple H for doing what's best for business, as the kayfabe line says, and putting Daniel Bryan over absolutely, unequivocally, clean. Putting him over clean with the running knee, shining wizard, whatever you want to call it. Putting him over clean, and when he hit that fucking thing, I was smiling from ear to ear, and the roof came off the place. Now, on an all-time WrestleMania scale, okay, like I said, I've got my ratings for all of the matches for 1 through 29 on the site, but I'm going to give you guys my ratings for these. And I now have really gotten a lot more strict with my ratings of matches, and this to me was a 3.75 out of 5 match. I thought it was, which is really good. I thought it was really good, really well done. Could have been better, but you can say that about a lot of matches, and I enjoyed it. And then after the match, you had Stephanie slapping Daniel Bryan. He's kind of just smiling it off, and Triple H attacked him. He hit him from behind, put his arm on the ring post. He hit the ring post with the chair to make it appear that he hit his arm. And it set in motion the thought process for viewers. Well, this will be why he doesn't win the title. Or he's going to be the ultra superhero baby face, and he's going to overcome everything. And literally, they took every obstacle and threw it in front of the Daniel Bryan character tonight. And, I mean, I think that this was the way to go. If you were going to go with him, you go all in. And they went all in right from the jump tonight. So let's find out what the boys thought about Daniel Bryan and the Triple H match.
Can the WWE fans just admit that they've gotten played by the WWE for like months now? Majority of the fans, because majority of the fans coming on here, Daniel Bryan this, Daniel Bryan that, blah 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 blah. WWE knew what they were doing the entire time.
I don't know.
I think their hand was forced.
It was forced, Jay, and I'm telling you, bro, it was.
Hey,
they tried to turn him heel, and I think they would have kept him heel if it wasn't for Michigan State.
I disagree with that one, but...
And no, I'm not saying long-term. He would have turned face eventually, but it would have set up a match with Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania or something like that. I don't think this happens as quick as it did without the overwhelming pressure that people were putting on them. Like, nah, fuck this. We wanted him to win the Royal Rumble. Fuck this. We wanted him to win the Elimination Chamber.
WWE's plan, though, in one way or another, was to make you hate them, like, hate the, whatever they're called, the authority so bad. And, like, I'm not saying that they plan to give Daniel Bryan the belt at WrestleMania from the get-go, but their plan all the way back, dating back to the summer, was one way or another, make the fans wait as long as possible and eventually give you a payoff with Bryan. I just don't think it was at Mania that they originally planned.
Okay.
I think that they were going to do that, and I'm just saying a lot of fans, not all the fans, but majority of the fans really played into that. You know what I mean? And WWE knew that. That's, you know.
Well, the good thing is that people did play into it, because if he wasn't over, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have cared. They would have given up, and the fans did not give up on him. And I think that's, I think that tonight was a victory for the majority of the people getting what they wanted, and we'll get to that a little bit later.
Oh yeah, and Matt, to me, this was the best match on the card. I told you guys before we got on the air, Triple H and Daniel Bryan, you can tell they worked a lot on this match before they actually went out there and executed it, and you can tell Triple H was watching some of Bryan's old matches, just some of the moves he was using, like the crossface chicken wing, which if you're an ROH fan, you remember Daniel Bryan using the crossface chicken wing, or the stretch plum variation that he used to use, or even the tiger suplex, something that Bryan used to use. You can tell Triple H watched Daniel Bryan and Nigel McGuinness's matches, because just the way this match was kind of constructed, in the pace of it, very Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan Danielson-esque in that sense. So I give Triple H some credit, man. He, as much as I wanted him to win, a lot of that was because I knew he wasn't going to win clean. I mean, he wasn't going to lose to Bryan clean, but what do you know? He lost to the man clean. So I got to give Triple H a lot of credit for that. One thing people always ignore with Triple H is the fact that he has put guys over at Mania. We can hate on them all we want, but you look at some of the people he's put over at Mania, thou who should not be mentioned, and you look at a Daniel Bryan, you look at Taker. He's put some guys over at Mania, and I think that gets forgotten. I think he even had a stretch where he lost maybe like 3 or 4 Manias in a row back in the mid to early 2000s. So I really enjoyed the pace of this match, the psychology. I'm going to give this one like a 3.5. And to me, this was the best match on the card.
People talk about like Undertaker's entrances and so and so's entrances. Dude, fucking Triple H's entrance tonight, and I'm definitely not a Triple H fan. That was a sick entrance. I thought that was probably the best one he's ever had. I thought that was fucking awesome.
I'm trying to see. There's that one, and which one was the Mania where he came out on the throne? That was 22. Pretty awesome. 22. Yes.
But this one was better than that. I think this one was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a good entrance for sure. So I'm going to agree with MG though, 3.5 out of 10. A little bit, his pacing was kind of obviously slow with Triple H, but that's usually with him. But the psychology was definitely there. They worked well together. I mean, that was definitely a good way to start off the damn show. I'll say that much. And I didn't even mind. I didn't even mind Steph Young. It was all right to me.
And let me say this just to add on. With those type of workers in the ring, Daniel Bryan always works really good matches with them, like a Triple H or Orton. It kind of almost makes me want to see another Triple H Bryan match, but at this point, I don't want to see it. But it almost makes you say, yeah, I know these guys can probably go out there and put on a better match.
I'm good on that one.
Yeah, I don't want to see it now, but it's just in my back of my head, like, if the circumstances were different, they probably could put on a better match.
Oh, and by the way, earlier today I put out a tweet telling I didn't realize it was going to go like this. I said, hey, tweet back to me where you watch our videos from, and put hashtag Blitz Team. Holy shit, dude, you looked at that, MG, all over, like everywhere, every little crook and cranny of the world you could think of. So shout out to the world that watches it. That kind of put it in perspective. I mean, you kind of knew, but then when you see each individual, Brazil and Argentina and England and all that, oh my gosh, Malaysia, every corner of the world, man. It was shout out to everyone who participated.
Who'd you guys mark out to most, Stone Cold Rock or Hogan? Just honestly, even if you didn't mark out, deep down inside,
I'm going to tell you straight up,
you got excited for
all three of them being in the ring at the same time is what got me the most. Because like when Stone Cold's music hit, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. When Rock's music hit, I was like, oh my gosh. But when they were all standing there, I said, this right here represents childhood, going into adult years, like, oh my gosh, man. That was such an awesome moment, dude. All right, so we get to the next match. Wow, every once in a while, like, what you want to see happens. Remember in the preview, I was like, they just need to squash him. When we were talking about the Shield against Kane and the New Age Outlaws.
That's the close little squash match you could get in a 6-man tag.
I went upstairs to get a drink. I came back down. I'm like, oh, it's already over.
Yeah, they squashed him in less than 3 minutes. The Shield did.
I get a feeling that Triple H and Bryan match or that first promo ran over a couple of minutes.
Wait a minute. The Rock's promo ran over? No way.
Yeah, I get the feeling because I would have expected them guys to get at least like maybe 7 or 8 minutes.
That's what needed to happen, though. I wanted that to be.
Oh yeah, no, best possible, best case scenario happened.
Yeah, thank you, Rock, for cutting a long promo. But yeah, the match didn't last too long. I didn't think it was great overall. It's just a squash match. So, but I did like the fact that they squashed him. I wasn't really going to buy into this anyways. I would have rather seen the Shield booked against the Wyatts and have Shield versus the Wyatts too. Personally, that's not what we got. This is what we got. The Shield weren't booked in a better way, and kind of a throwaway match for the Shield at Mania in the sense it was just a squash. So it gets a 1.75 out of 5 from me. And then someone on Twitter was saying that Billy Gunn's having internal bleeding or something.
The WWE put that out that he got hurt on that power bomb. So
oh well,
there's no telling if it's real or not. But Shout out to them, to the Outlaws, because the reason this match even happened is because they requested to work a feud with the Shield before they broke up. So, gotta put over the young talent.
Well, yeah, but I still would have rather seen Shield and Wyatt.
Oh yeah, well easily.
That freaking Shield Wyatt's one was awesome. Now I don't think it'll carry the same roster personally, and we'll get to that in a bit. All right. Sergeant Slaughter, you've got Sergeant Slaughter backstage, and him and Hacksaw Jim Duggan are playing with toys. Usually I'm like, oh, come on. You know, the Slam City toys. And then Ricky the Dragon Steamboat comes in. I'm sorry, I'm a huge Ricky the Dragon Steamboat fan. How many guys at his age, you remember the Chris Jericho versus Three Legends 3-on-1 match? Remember how good Steamboat did in that match? Like 50-some years old. You know, Rick Steamboat has... I still call him Rick Steamboat because when I first started watching him, that's what they called him. Rick Steamboat, the black tights, you know, the whole 9 yards before he was the Dragon. And...
Oh, shout out to the Shield for pulling the Bullet Club type number and wearing the mask out. You know,
that was so cool. That was
totally got that from.
For 1 second, I thought it was
Japan, but it was awesome.
For 1 second, I was like, the aces and eights are here, you know.
Well, it's similar. Bullet Club in Japan, very similar. And you know, by the way, AJ Styles just joined the Bullet Club over in New Japan, but very similar in terms of wearing some masks and something, you know. So cool.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot to bring that up because remember the New Age Outlaws were coming out. They didn't even get to do their shtick, and the Shield was coming.
Got cut off.
You know, they got cut off, and the Shield's coming down looking like they're ready.
Everything went perfect.
Yes. Oh man.
They should do that more often. They should wear those masks out every night now.
But Ricky Steamboat, awesome. Like Ricky Steamboat, I thought he was kind of funny the way he played into that. And then the $1 million, you know, all of a sudden some guy shows up and he goes, "These are no longer your toys." And I'm like, okay, what's the point to this? And all of a sudden you see $1 Million Man show up with money. I was like, all right, it's kind of corny, but gotta remember, I used to watch these guys back in the day, so for me, it was cool. And of course, $1 Million Man, everybody's got a price. And then how does it end? Of course, who can do the best damn?
Farouk.
No, out of you guys, who can do the best Ron Simmons?
Oh, that's a good question.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
You guys go first.
Yeah.
Add a sip of water real quick.
Damn! I can't do it.
Damn!
There you go. That was good. That was good. That was good. Yeah, so that was cool. You know, WrestleMania 30, we wanted to see the legends, man, and we got to see them. And just seeing Rick Steamboat, you know, I don't know. I know it sounds stupid to a lot of you younger fans, but Rick Steamboat was a guy who represented, like him and Tito Santana, you knew you're going to get a lot of crappy matches from the WWF back then, but when Tito Santana and Rick Steamboat came out, you were like, yes, you know, so. All right, Antonio Cesaro.
My motherfucking man.
Wow.
Fuck the world. Fuck everybody. Cesaro.
Yes.
Bruce knows from day one I fucks with Cesaro.
What did I tell you about that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? I said I want to see it. Battle Royals at WrestleMania.
Well, he wasn't even announced for it at first. They had took him out because he was in the tag match.
Oh man, dude! First of all, Kofi Kingston, another.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that was so cool.
Fucking
What in the
ridiculous.
fuck was that?
That was ridiculous, dude. That was planned. How the fuck do you do that?
Wait,
He cleared the post.
how do you do that?
He got thrown over the fucking thing, and his feet planted perfectly on the last fucking step. How the fuck do you do that, man?
He's
It's unreal.
He is. He's like one of the great mid-card acts when it comes to having spots like that. You know.
I'm sorry. John Morrison who?
Yeah.
I ain't never seen him do that.
No. Yeah, Morrison doesn't even come close, honestly, because now Kofi's had numerous ones now. Like, I can't remember.
What about the Royal Rumble?
It's ridiculous.
What about the Royal Rumble where
Which
dude jumped
one?
from the barricade?
But it's every
That
year.
one
No,
or the
it's
chair?
every year.
Yeah. But I mean, the dude jumped from the barricade, and remember, he barely made it to the ring apron. Yeah. But I don't know. There were a couple good spots. I thought Ziggler had a couple moments in there. A couple guys had a couple moments in there. Sheamus.
Oh, we can't forget the handstand too that he did a few years ago.
Oh yeah. But the moment of the match that everybody's gonna remember, it came down to Cesaro and the Big Show. And I think, who were the guys that I said I thought could win? I said Cesaro, Big Show, Sheamus, and I said maybe Langston I thought were the guys who could win. Cesaro picks up Big Show, and he was assisting him with his hand on the thigh a little bit. I don't care.
It looked like he did it pretty easy.
He did. And he just threw the Big Show over the top rope, and I said, literally, holy fuck. Okay, wow.
How much did Andre weigh? Andre was, what, 600 pounds?
Like, if not, a little over 500.
So around the same weight as Big Show?
Yeah.
Oh, Cesaro.
And you're talking about Hulk Hogan in his prime, you know, lifting him up. Fucking Cesaro's like 80 pounds less than Hogan probably weighed to be that.
And he threw him over the top rope.
Yeah, he threw it, yeah.
Yeah, Cesaro. Well, I think you guys already know at this point. Cesaro he has unreal strength for it. Unreal.
Time out though, because this is not a fair comparison, and I'll tell you why. Andre the Giant was breaking down by that point in time in his career, and the Big Show is still athletic enough to assist better.
Oh yeah.
So let's throw that out there.
Yeah,
real
but
quick,
I still think Cesaro would have been able to do it either way.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Cesaro's got that farm boy strength type thing going on.
He's got unreal strength.
Billy, what'd you think of the spot with Cesaro throwing Big Show over the top rope?
I love that spot. I had the same reaction as you. I was like, holy shit. He always impressed me with the strength. He does that quite a bit. MG could definitely, both you guys could say. I mean, there's a lot of moments you see that, but it's pretty damn good. Good battle royal, too. Honestly, I give it an 8 out of 10. A lot of good spots. That Kobe thing was really fucking awesome, man.
Oh,
Actually, fuck Cesaro.
What?
What?
Just because Mad Genius likes him, fucking.
Oh,
okay, Jay. Hold on, Jay. Hold on. Like, we have our differences on people, but Cesaro, bro.
Brock would push his shit in.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not arguing that one though.
Even in the strength battle.
In a strength battle, that's not even fair.
Right.
Lesnar's ridiculous.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not even arguing with Lesnar.
All right, getting under Mad Genius's skin once throughout the video. Checklist. Check. Okay. Next segment.
All right.
Okay, so Jay, you got any openings in the Red Dragon tag team for me?
Says what?
Hey man, Kyle O'Reilly. You look exactly like Kyle O'Reilly. I was just wondering if you guys could use a black in the Red Dragon tag team. It'd be nice to add.
Oh my gosh. All right, moving on.
Google Kyle O'Reilly, everybody. You'll see Jay.
Oh, well. No, Jay looks like Eminem, man. So.
Kyle O'Reilly, Eminem, and Matt Clemore rolled up in one.
I'm playing the race
card.
card.
I would get back to you right now for this, but I can't do that.
Hey,
all right.
Kyle O'Reilly's my favorite wrestler right now, though, so it's not disrespectful.
Can we all agree at this point in the show, it's like, holy shit, they're doing things that we want to see.
Oh, first hour and a half in?
Hour and a half. Like, hour and 35 minutes.
Shock, dude. I was really in shock at that point. I was like, really? I haven't seen this in like a long fucking time from them.
No, I was going without a hiccup. Until the fucking John Cena's music hit, So here comes Fuckboy Buckethead, the shit factor of professional wrestling. We got a really good WrestleMania going so far. And here comes the fucking pandering asshole, coming down the aisle. If you like him, that's great.
No, I don't even want to hear that.
No, they ain't gonna convince me to start liking him though. I've never liked him from day one. I've made that very clear. He just annoys me. I don't think he's a good wrestler. Okay, I don't. I'm sorry. I'll show you good wrestlers.
I did like the Wyatt entrance though. With the
Wyatt entrance was crazy.
Wyatt entrance was awesome.
Don't tell people more power to you if you're a John Cena fan. That's not a good thing. You can't do that, especially for children. Dude.
They'll grow up.
No, that makes Bruce Blitz a bad influence for children.
No,
you can't. You can't be saying that. You can't. You shouldn't be telling children to like John Cena. He's a bad influence.
Well, I don't know. They had a video package earlier in the show. I can't remember what it was about. And he was talking about something, and he started doing this. I'm serious. He started doing the Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. That dude is such a fucking politician. He's like, well, We do it for the kids, and yes, we can. We need change. What the fuck, dude? Fucking politician, man. He just is always trying. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say what the PR team told me to say. There's just not an organic bone in his body, man. So, anyways, yeah. Again, as Billy said, great entrance from Bray Wyatt. John Cena, same shit. He ran down to the ring. He's scared now. Remember, he was scared of Bray Wyatt, and he just runs down to the ring and just does his normal shit. Imagine Jake the Snake in a situation like that, where he was acting scared. He'd slither into the ring. But anyways, let's get to the match. So Bray starts out the match trying to bait Cena into being more demonstrative or whatever, and Cena tried. Okay. That's the key word. Tried to act mad, and it was just fucking comedy.
Remember what happened the last time he tried to act mad? When he had the shit face on.
Yeah.
When was that? Was that when Ryder got pushed off the stage in the wheelchair?
I don't remember, dude.
Around that time.
It doesn't work.
Oh my god, I wish they would have saved that Ryder wheelchair moment from this Mania. My god, that would have made this the greatest Mania ever.
Well, I mean, his psychology in the ring makes no sense. He's trying to act mad, and then when he sets up the 5-knuckle shuffle, he's smirking because he knows the fans are going to fucking boo him. His ring psychology is terrible. Bray Wyatt on the other hand, but anyway, so I thought it fell flat when he did that at the beginning of the match. The crowd really wasn't into this thing. Even the anti-Cena fans were just kind of like, all right, where's the part where Cena kicks out his sister Abigail and AAs him? I mean, that's the vibe I was getting from the crowd. Like,
it was quiet.
It was.
This match lost the crowd.
It did.
The crowd was pretty hot for most of the show. The crowd really never recovered from this match until the end of the main event.
That's the kind of reactions you need, just the apathetic shit where they just don't care. That's
Right.
the worst thing a performer can get is no reaction.
Yes, it is.
That's the worst thing. Every performer, I know a lot of bands and stuff, and they fucking fear that more than anything else is having nothing.
Yeah, so don't make any noise. My idea, which, it's something that it's too bad someone on a bigger platform wouldn't bring this up with more wrestling fans, is if you're on the hard camera side, go get a beer or a soda or a water as soon as Cena comes to the ring. To see a bunch of people walking up to the concession stands would really tell the whole story. Like, the people who don't like Cena, that's in my opinion, the best way is don't buy a ticket. Because he ain't getting my money, but it's a walkout. You know what I mean? So,
Why not?
But not out of the arena, as some people interpreted that. I mean, to the concessions. But anyway, so Bray Wyatt had another one of those creepy type fucking moments. How about Cena's going for the 5-knuckle shuffle, and the camera pans, and Bray Wyatt is bridged.
That was awesome.
That was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why you cannot fucking have this guy lose to Cena, and I'll explain more in a minute. You can't. I mean, this dude is one of the best heel acts who I think could cross over to being a babyface eventually, but one of the best because eventually he could get over.
Oh, yeah.
Why couldn't they go with like a Bret Hart Stone Cold type finish? I guess Cena doesn't have enough finishing moves.
Also,
Better
he starts beating him up early when he starts acting like he's mad. Wyatt's just laughing. He has this maniacal laughter going on.
That was great.
That was fucking awesome. Like, Bray Wyatt, honestly, I gave the match 3 out of 5 just because of him.
I understand that. How about Cena botching that gut buster? I mean, it's like, well, that's yeah. Cena looked like his usual awkward self in the ring. Another spot of note was Bray Wyatt jumping up and catching Cena in the leg drop off the top rope and powerbombing him was kind of cool. It wasn't like super devastating, but it was kind of cool. John Cena basically ends up taking out the whole Wyatt family by himself. He did. Instead of
surprise,
he did. Yeah, he did. He takes out the whole fucking Wyatt family. John Cena's got a golden shovel in his back pocket. Instead of doing the leg drop on Bray, he turns to the outside of the ring and does a crossbody on Rowan and Harper, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And Let's see what else. You had Cena tackling Luke Harper through the barricades. Super Cena, for those of you who were waiting for Super Cena to arrive, he came back tonight. Cena hit Rowan with the chair. You got to see Cena kick out of the Sister fucking Abigail, just like I've been predicting that for how long? Ever since they started this feud, I said, well, there's one thing that'll for sure happen. The Sister Abigail will no longer be a true finishing move because someone will kick out of it.
I hate that fucking name.
Or the Sister Abigail, yeah. I'm not too crazy.
Well, that name has meaning because of the character.
It does. But they could have come up with a better name than that. But Cena went over on Bray Wyatt by reversing the Sister Abigail. He hits the AA out of nowhere. Fucking who would have figured?
That's the fireman's carry. Has hurt.
So there were people already tweeting me and whatnot. Oh, this is going to elevate Bray Wyatt. The same fucking people. The same people who said that about Sandow when we were like, fuck this. Damian Sandow, good heel. Why did they have to feed him to Cena in that fashion? They buried him. That was a burial.
Yeah, how does this elevate Bray Wyatt when it was essentially 3-on-1 and they still couldn't even beat him with a cheap win?
No. All right, so to me, it doesn't further his career. It takes away the luster. The guy could become an anti-authority type face eventually. I've gone into some pretty deep details in fantasy booking situations with that on the website. What does it do to help Bray Wyatt's character? Why do these motherfuckers always have to be fed to Cena? I don't get it. What is it about this fucking guy? I don't get it. It makes no logical sense. He's not good. He's not good. The only reason that Cena's over is because they have convinced people that he's good with the way that they book him. He gets look at all of Cena's big matches. Wait till the dude retires and they come out with the John Cena Greatest Matches DVD. And unless they've edited crowd noise over it, every one of his big matches for the most part, almost all of them, like 90% of them, the crowd's cheering for his opponent. What the fuck? Why do they gotta feed? You could have put the Shield in a return match with the Wyatts, but no, we've got to feed Cena. We've got to feed the Cena character, Bray Wyatt. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. It makes no logical fucking sense. What is it with this guy? I don't see it. I don't see the talent that other people see. I don't see the talent in the ring. I don't see any charisma. He's not charismatic. He's robotic. I just don't see it. What the fuck, man? He's been protected for how many fucking years? When is enough? There's nobody else that's been protected like this guy. Ever. And you got to go back to Bob Backlund and Bruno Sammartino. Holy shit. Ever since wrestling's been on national TV, nobody has been this over fucking protected. And then you get these hot acts like a Bray Wyatt, and then, hey, Bray Wyatt, this thing's really working. We'll give him to Cena at Mania. I don't understand that. And then here's the thing about this, he's elevated. Cena elevated him by just being in the ring. What? When are they going to tell us next that he sprinkled holy water on him? But I don't get it. And when a guy like this goes into a match with Cena, there's a lot of people that consciously or subconsciously, because I know it goes through my mind, it's like, all right, we'll see how seriously they take Bray Wyatt. Because I've been thinking this for years with so many guys. If Cena has to put him over clean, then now we're making progress from moving away from the Cena thing. They're building up guys. I mean, fuck. Fucking Daniel Bryan just laid down for Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. Did it really hurt him? After all of these years of all these kayfabe wins and Cena's the first to work, the last to leave. Let's exploit the Make-A-Wish stuff. He does Make-A-Wish. That's why you can't hate him. He's a good guy. Look at the troops. Fuck the doctors. I've said this before. Fuck the doctors that take care of the Make-A-Wish kids. They don't run video packages on them. It's Cena. Cena thinks he plays this vital role in these children's lives when it's the doctors and the parents and stuff like that. well, I went and signed an autograph, for the kid. What? I do not fucking get that. I know some military guys that hate it when he salutes, too, by the way, when he does that saluting shit. It drives me batshit fucking crazy. Because as a Cena hater from day one, I was never on that chain gang shit. I was never on the thugonomics and all that other bullshit. Not from day fucking one. From day one, I didn't like him. I said, this dude is fucking corny. He ain't rapping. This ain't rapping. Fuck this. He can't even fucking wrestle. I don't get it. I get that same feeling watching Cena that I did for Lex Luger, that I did for Bob Backlund. What the fuck was Bob Backlund doing in a WrestleMania match with Bret the Hitman Hart? It was garbage. I get that same feeling that I used to get for Double J, Jeff Jarrett, J double F, J whatever the fuck. I mean, come on. That's the same feeling I get. The difference between those guys and this guy is this guy gets shoved down your fucking throat. And he's not even that good. He's not. Do you respect Cena? He tries. I respect all the guys who are doing it. It's not just Cena, but it always gets spun as John Cena's the only one that puts in the effort and Make-A-Wish and the troops. All of them do it. All of them do it. And when those Make-A-Wish meetings and the fact that you do Make-A-Wish and all that stuff ends up on TV, that is now part of kayfabe in my world. In my world. Because I know there's plenty of athletes. Brian Urlacher was one. There's plenty of athletes that absolutely will not. They request for the media to not cover their charitable deeds because they don't want to be viewed as using that for public relations. Not this guy. So every little thing that people, well, you got to respect him. You got to like him. He does Make-A-Wish. Kayfabe. I don't find him entertaining. Period. John Cena with the fucking golden shovel again. Literally. I'm not going to say the Wyatts are completely buried, but when Bray Wyatt goes into that situation, okay, and this is the test of how seriously they take him, and you could see that everybody knew Cena was going to win. Of course, that's what they always do. But when they go into the situation, I'm sorry, it devalues them.
Yep.
I do not look at Bray Wyatt the same now that I don't really think they take him that seriously now. I don't. When especially the whole Wyatt family, fucking Cena beat all of them at once. So the Wyatt family, I was really high on the Bray Wyatt thing and stuff now. I'm not getting my hopes up anymore. Because, oh, dude, another fucking WrestleMania, bro. Another one.
Oh, they all go downhill. If history repeats itself, which I'm pretty sure it will, look at what happened to Sandow. You look at what happened to Del Rio when Cena took the belt off of him. You look at what happened to Ziggler eventually. You look at Mark Henry. You can keep going down the list. You look at what happened to Kane after he lost that feud to Cena a couple years back. Look what he's been doing lately after he lost that feud. What was he?
It started with Kurt Angle.
Oh, well, you go way back.
You can go back to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle. They literally chose Cena over Kurt Angle.
That's embarrassing.
That is fucking stupid. I'm sorry. With all the things that went right tonight, this is still a huge stain. Yep. This motherfucker needs to get out of the way. And I wouldn't have as much of a problem with it if they push Cena and whatever, and they continue to use him in a predominant role. Why couldn't he lose this match clean? Well, my legacy's on. Right when you heard that his legacy was on the line, which is bullshit. Right when you heard that his legacy was on the line and all this, my reputation, there was no way Bray Wyatt was going over. But like a damn fool, I still held out some sort of hope that they would finally say, all right, the Cena thing's run its course. We're not going to protect him as much as we used to, or at least change something. They literally proved that it's still, 8 years later, this term started 7-8 years ago. It's still the same old shit with Cena. We've seen enough, and Cena sucks.
And you know what's crazy?
MG, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna turn it over to you guys for a bit. But I hate seeing a guy like Bray Wyatt put in the work that he did. get over in the fashion that he has. You could feel that this character could really have some shelf life here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got
the children love him, Bruce.
That's great. The children like Rey
Bruce,
Mysterio. They like Rey Mysterio too.
Him.
They like Rey Mysterio too. Did he have to be protected? No. No, it's all bullshit to
Bruce,
me.
all the 10-year-old little girls love him.
No, dude, what happened is a lot of guys bailed on the WWF, WWE. A lot of guys bailed. A lot of guys bailed over the years. And they know that Cena's their company guy. And, yes, we can. I'm gonna say the right thing. And, I'm the ultimate company guy. No, he's a fucking politician. They like that about him. No, it has nothing to do with entertainment. He's not entertaining. The fucking guy sucks. Period. Fuck Cena.
And honestly, with the way the card was constituted, this is the only winner I have a problem with. I have no problem with anybody else who won a match. Yeah, literally, Cena beating Bray Wyatt does not. His character is at the point where it doesn't matter if he loses a match clean or not. Like, I don't understand why they can't have this guy lose the match clean.
But did you really think the WWE? Did you think
I didn't think it was going to happen, but bro, we never thought.
I'm not just specifically talking about this match. I'm not specifically just talking about this match, but did you really think that WWE was going to give us kind of fans every win that we wanted? That never happens. That's why that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't want to give us every win we wanted, have somebody like fucking Sheamus with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal or something.
No, that wouldn't have been good enough. One of the bigger matches they're going to have to take from this.
I mean, fuck it, or have Triple H win the titles. I would have been okay with Triple H winning the titles. It was either Cena or Triple H that was going to get a win in the. Okay, if you want me to take my pick between the two, I'm picking Triple H to win the titles.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'd still pick Cena to win because I'd pick neither of them. But I mean, if I had to choose between the two, I don't know. I think you had to have Triple H had to lose. So.
I don't know, because then you could have just had the belts and lose it to Bryan at SummerSlam or something. Like, that would have been fine, But
that Mania would have gone down as the worst. That crowd would have, if Daniel Bryan didn't walk out, that crowd would have been. There's no way. That
would have been perfectly fine with me. The looks on their faces after the Taker match, and then if Triple H would have won the title, bro, that would have been joy. That would have been the best feeling in the world to watch those fans' faces.
Oh, for me and you, probably, yeah.
I would have loved it.
I love the fans' reaction at the fucking the streak match, but
yeah, if Triple H would have won the title on top of the streak ending, what?
Oh my God,
I would have been laughing for weeks.
Yep.
But pertaining to the normal sheep like WWE fans, there's no way you had Triple H win. Yeah. I'm saying, I'm just saying, like, Cena, should have put over Bray Wyatt, but literally, like, you can go back and look at other WrestleManias that were really good, and majority of the outcomes were good, and you can always find one match where it's like, all right, they had to have this guy win because they're not going to give, like I said, fans like us every single thing that they want. They refuse to do that. That never happens.
I mean, they could have always went in a different route where you have the Shield lose, and then you have it be, the start of the breakup or something. Like, fine.
It's always a big match.
Ugh.
It's always one of the bigger matches on the card.
There's no reason for Cena to win this match. Like this.
That's why 29 sucked epically bad, like to all-time standards, because all the outcomes were against what fans like us wanted. That's why.
But I mean, even when you look at this card, this is their chance to really say, okay, we're going to change, we're going to move in a new direction. With you look at all the outcomes, the streak ending, Bryan winning the title, the Shield squashing who they squashed, Cesaro winning the Battle Royal. This would have really been their chance to say, okay, we're moving in a new direction. Fuck you. All right, Kyle O'Reilly's not my favorite wrestler anymore. You completely ruined it for me.
I actually looked him up. I forgot what the guy looked like, but yeah. But fuck Cesaro.
Jay.
He's a good in-ring worker. He's a great in-ring worker.
Jay.
Listen,
Kyle.
He's a great
Kyle.
Okay, that's fine. I don't take that as that's not a diss in any way. But I'm just saying, Cesaro's a great worker.
Start with me on Cesaro.
He's a great worker. He's respectful, Jay. But fuck him. Fuck him.
Jay.
Oh, fuck him.
Jay.
Fuck him.
Jay, I'm 2 seconds away from disowning Jay as a friend. It's that real out here. This is like how you lose friends over playing Madden. I'm at that point with Jay over Cesaro right now.
You said there's real heat between you two.
Yeah, backstage
There's
sources
real
say
heat
there's
right
real heat between
Yeah,
me
I'm
and
just
Jay.
reading it right now on Twitter.
Backstage sources says the crowd's going to be favored towards Mad Genius. And so is the comment section.
I doubt that, bro. I haven't been too
You
well
doubt
liked
that?
over. I haven't been too liked over the past few weeks.
Yeah, but Billy, isn't that because I haven't been here?
No, it has nothing to do with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's been everything that I've been
irritates Mad.
seeing.
No, that's going to irritate Mad Genius. It's really because I haven't been
You know how
here.
much
Everybody
heat I
knows
caught
it.
for saying I wanted Triple H to be the champion at the end of Mania?
Yeah, but you don't.
Oh, I did. Trust me. I was
Well,
legit,
yeah.
I was
No.
100% on board with it. Me and Shoddy and Billy were 100% on board with it.
It's true, Jay. It's like when a wrestler
Yeah,
leaves.
Shoddy and Billy.
I would have bought a Triple H shirt if he would have walked out as the champion. Just so I could see the looks on people's faces with Triple H holding up the
that
belts
would've
after the
been
show.
magnified.
I
That
would have
would've been-
loved it.
That would have been magnified times like 100 if from the Taker Lesnar match if Triple H walked out the titles, which I admit I would thoroughly fucking enjoyed. I would have recorded that and I would have watched it fucking for weeks.
You know what? Now that I think about it, now that Taker did lose the streak and seeing the way the fans reacted, I wish Triple H did win the title now. It would have just added to it. You know, the Brock
That's a
Lesnar.
lie.
It would have. It would have been classic. Like, were you here for the Royal Rumble review? When
Mad Genius, you
I
wanted
absolutely
Daniel Bryan
gloated
to
over
win
the
so
fans'
bad.
faces when Bryan didn't enter the Royal Rumble. I was gloating over it because the faces when Batista won, the looks on the fans' faces were classic.
Fucking priceless.
They were
Yeah.
timeless for
Great.
steals, bro. You're not gonna get that again.
Oh, you'll get it again eventually. Don't worry.
I don't know about that, but it's all good. But
you never used to be like this. Are you on drugs?
no, I'm not.
Real quick though, what was the deal with looking like they were going to turn Cena heel? Because there was no.
They do that every time. They did it.
There
in
was
the,
no
They
build
did it
for
in the
that at
first
all.
match. They did it in the second match with The Rock, and
Yeah, I know, but that's like somebody hand me a paper back there, somebody writing the script down. It's like, here, look at this. I'm having to prove it. I'm like, why the fuck are you trying to flirt with him turning heel that you haven't even built? Cena hasn't built this match for fucking the last, 2 months? He hasn't even built the match. He did what?
oh, they wouldn't even have had to build it. Just Cena turning heel alone would have been fine. You don't even need
I
to
mean, I
build
said-
for that. People already hate the guy.
Anybody notice when Stone Cold got the second round of beers? Hogan and Rock were looking at him like, we don't want another round, Steve. We're good on the first one.
Enough's enough. But you got to let Austin drink
Yeah,
away.
I know, because 5 rounds of beer is equivalent to 1 for anybody else for him.
No,
Oh,
Hogan
yeah.
was drinking the actual whole beer, though. Austin's, like, fucking empties half the fucking can by the time he starts drinking one, dude.
Yeah, that's his
Give
gimmick.
some fucking respect. He just opened nice and softly and chugged that shit. Austin, like, that shit's going everywhere. It looks like
Hey, Rock did
You
the
can
same
just
thing
picture
Austin
James
did.
Storm sitting in his house just getting pissed off that Austin's wasting good bud. Like,
that's a lot of beer.
he's like, I drink out of glass bottles, so I don't
I'm
waste
still-
any. You
I'm
got this
still
jerk
taking
Austin coming out
Austin.
there wasting them.
I'm taking Austin in a beer drinking contest any day of the week over James Storm.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Don't
I'm
care.
saying,
Oh, yeah.
He'll
Fuck
waste
James
some, but he'll
Storm.
drink a lot, too. Yeah. No, I have respect to Stone Cold. I ain't talking shit about him. He does waste a lot of beer, though. I mean, shit. That's visual. You can see it.
Yeah, Rock did the same thing. He smashed 2 cans together and just like poured half of it all over his shirt, just like Austin did.
Oh my god. But I mean, literally up until the point in the show where you got this match, everything was going
Everything
fine.
was going great. Yep.
Everything was
It
fine.
should have been Bruce Blitz versus Cena, but fucking WWE didn't work with Bruce's contract.
Ah,
Maybe next year, guys. You know,
well,
What are you guys talking about? John Cena's a hard worker. John Cena works hard for the company, guys. Come on.
like, he
Alright,
doesn't win
come on
Mania
now.
immediately. Like, I'm not
I
gonna.
mean, even me,
Never turn
even
down.
myself, I'm 25 years old and I live in my mom's basement and I have no job. But I still support John Cena because he's a hard worker and he stands for hustle, loyalty, and respect. Ah, shut the fuck up.
well,
Keep
D
that thought in
Style,
mind until SummerSlam rolls around, people.
Yeah.
welcome in D Style. You can find D Style and D Style Box. You can find Jay at John J
At Kyle O'Reilly.
06 on Twitter.
At Kyle O'Reilly ROH.
But D-Style, they did it again. You know, I guess the Cena fans are that insecure, or at least I'm not saying that they are, but in the WWE's mind, they're that insecure to where he can't put guys over. You know. I mean,
Yeah.
then right away someone's gonna go, well, The Rock, WrestleMania. No, didn't you hear the excuse he used 11 months later? Didn't you hear Michael Cole right after The Rock? Well, there were no losers here. And then you had Cena 11 months later. Well, I got cocky. You know, I'm more focused now. And that was the whole thing. He's more focused now. He's not going to make a mistake. And then, you know, like everyone's like, oh, he put over Daniel Bryan clean. The next night he's showing his elbow, all these close-ups on Raw. Well, Daniel Bryan beat him with one arm. You know, he's Cena in one arm. You know, they didn't even have to say it. It's like, I'm not making excuses, but look at my arm. Oh, okay. I don't get it, D-Style. I don't get it. I'll never get the Cena thing. And I don't know him personally. This is not a personal thing. I can't fucking stand the guy. I think he's annoying as shit.
Well, it's got to be personal if you know, if he's Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. It's got to be personal if I believe anyway, he's working backstage politics. So, in a sense, it is personal. You know? But either way, it would have actually been a pretty good show in my eyes if he would have lost. You know, it would have actually been a decent show. I don't know. I mean, I didn't start watching it till like halfway through the Bryan Triple H match. So
Okay.
I kind of started watching it late, so I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, you missed Hogan, Rock, and Austin in the ring. That was awesome.
Okay.
They started the show. It was, dude, you gotta find a way to see that. It was great.
Well, I mean, definitely got to see that. I'm sure it'll pop up soon. But yeah, I mean, it was an okay. It didn't feel like WrestleMania. I don't know about you guys. It didn't have a WrestleMania feel, but overall, though, I think it was okay. It was okay. I'll just say okay. I was pleasantly surprised that Lesnar won.
We're about to get to that. You're segueing to our next segment.
All right.
Yep. So let's go ahead and get into that because that's become the big topic.
Because I don't want to talk about Cena. I'm saying.
I don't blame you. And by the way, I gave the Cena and Bray Wyatt match a 1.75 out of 5. Fuck. All right. So the Undertaker literally took 7+ minutes to get in the ring. From the time his music. It was over 7 minutes.
7 minutes and 30 seconds to be exact, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, the part where the smoke comes up and you can't see him right away, that took way too long. I'm trying to find this guy entering the arena.
Oh,
It took fucking like 10 minutes, I swear.
Did anybody else get pissed when he looked back and had the flaming casket rise up and no casket was used during the match?
No, hold up. My thank you taker was I was doing laundry at the time, and I was like, shit, I'm going to have time to do the whole interchange and change it over, get the dryer, get the new load back in the washer. So thank you taker for taking so long to get to the ring.
I wish there would have been a casket.
Yeah, you know, it's like the polar opposite of his
I wish it would have been a
Badass.
casket match.
Oh, that would have been awesome. But it's the polar opposite of the American Badass. American Badass, he was down there in 2.2 seconds on the Harley. You know, I loved that gimmick. But anyway, you know, since
Get out to the Harley, why not? Fuck it.
I would have liked to have seen that in this situation more than
Because zombies don't ride motorcycles, apparently.
Yeah,
But they wrestle. They wrestle on TV, right?
they do.
Oh yeah, and according to the marks, he really is a dead man, and he really can come back from the dead.
The match itself had a pretty slow pace to it. It wasn't overly exciting, the match. And the Undertaker, you could see he blew up quick. Like he was having some cardio issues there. The man's getting old. This Undertaker streak thing, the Undertaker streak thing wasn't going to last as long as some people thought. And I said in the preview, and I've been saying for well over a month on my website, my VIP videos, that I thought Brock Lesnar was the perfect guy to take the streak, and I'll get more to that in a minute.
I literally wanted the Undertaker streak to end. I've literally wanted the streak to end since I've watched wrestling, just for the record.
Well, there's a lot of people that felt that way, but and there were a lot that really just bought into the streak. You know, this was like a yearly thing for them. But So you could see that he's struggling throughout the match. I think one thing that's going to really go unnoticed and untalked about is Paul Heyman was great during this match. Paul Heyman yelling the instructions. He's trying to take it from you. Go get him now. You know, like, oh, now. You know, the way he was screaming at Lesnar, screaming the instructions. I liked that. Of course, we got the kick out of the finisher spots with, the Undertaker kicked out of 2 F5s. Brock kicked out of a last ride, and the tombstone didn't look very good. But
that last ride looked like shit, too.
It did. Lesnar's a heavy dude, man.
Well, he is a big dude. I'm just
well, you saw his trunks were coming down.
Yeah.
So the Undertaker couldn't have full control over him. So.
In fairness, yeah.
But Lord have mercy. My respect level for the Undertaker has gone through the roof because he put Brock Lesnar over. Brock fucking Lesnar. There was nobody better to break the streak because this is why. First of all, I had a couple guys who said, I can't believe they let someone break the streak. And seriously, I put this shirt on just for you. Okay? Just for you. Can't have someone break the streak who all he is he's just all about money. He left money when he left the WWE. He left for sure guaranteed money. Went and worked in Japan, went to MMA, defied the odds in MMA and the UFC. Added some real legitimacy to professional wrestling with what he did there. You are talking about the baddest motherfucker to ever enter a professional wrestling ring. There is no shame in the Undertaker streak from a kayfabe standpoint, ending at the hands of Brock Lesnar. It's better than it ending at the hands of Sting. It's better than, in all due respect to Sting, legend, icon, it's better than ending at the hands of a John Cena. It's better than it ending at the hands of a young guy. Like I said in the VIP videos on the site for the past handful of weeks, like I said in the preview video for WrestleMania, really, yeah, in theory, having a younger guy break the streak to enhance his legacy sounds good on paper, but in all honesty, if a guy has that much of an it factor as one of the younger guys, he shouldn't need the streak to get him over. To me, having Lesnar, a legit badass, break the streak, what it does is it protects the sanctity, and I even put out a tweet before the match. I didn't think Lesnar was going to win myself, but it protects the sanctity of the streak in the sense that the most legit badass in wrestling history broke it. And this, I can't believe they let a part-timer break the streak again. The most legit badass in wrestling history fucking broke the streak. This, to me, was the best scenario to do it. And it was
Plus, if you let a young guy beat the streak anyways, and like you said though, to your point, like if a guy is going to get over, he's going to get over. But outside of that, if you let a young guy beat the streak and he fails getting over as a star, not only did you let the streak end, but you diminish the meaning of Undertaker being 22-1, which is a feat in itself anyways, or whatever, 21-1. You diminish that if the guy doesn't get over. You know what I mean? Which could likely happen with the way WWE books guys. If a guy's going to get over, like a Roman Reigns or a Bray Wyatt, they're going to get over. They don't need that streak.
And Jay, let's put it to you this way too: to the Undertaker fans that are mad about him breaking the streak, this is who he picked.
And there's a reason for that.
Yes.
And that's, let's be honest, the WWE fans themselves, they don't respect Brock Lesnar because they don't respect MMA.
No.
Which is ridiculous. So, but to all you fans out there that feel that way, to all you Undertaker fans, who are so mad about it, well, your guy picked Brock Lesnar, like Bruce said, and there's a reason for that, because it's the most respectable way you can possibly end your undefeated streak at WrestleMania. Why would you want to lose to anybody else? You get to say you won 21 times, but the only time you lost was to a guy who was a former UFC heavyweight champion and the guy who's a fucking beast, who would probably kick most guys' asses
outside of the best in MMA. You know what I mean?
Dude,
There's not
he
a
killed.
better guy to lose to.
Look what he did to Frank Mir and Randy Couture. I mean, holy shit. I think this was the best way to end it. I think it was the best way to end it. And I got to say to The Undertaker, much respect. I will respect The Undertaker 10 years from now for choosing Brock Lesnar to be the guy. There's only a couple guys that I think that could have this type of... There's only a few guys that I would say that I would put in the class of Lesnar to where they could break the streak, and I think that it even enhances the streak that it took this guy to break it. The Rock, Stone Cold, and Kurt Angle. That's it. Because I think Stone Cold and The Rock could still get in there, and work a match.
And I don't think it's set in. I don't think it's quite set in yet, but that's a huge, like, you know, even though it's kayfabe WWE fake stuff, but that's a huge thing to put on your resume if you're Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? Because that's something nobody else at all, you know, nobody else can have that ever. So
it doesn't compare to what he did in UFC.
No, of course, because you're talking about a real sport. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you know, you get what I'm saying. But for the long resume that Brock already has as a collegiate wrestler and a UFC fighter, and then, you know, his WWE career, you know, I mean, just to add this to it is fucking awesome.
All right, and I'll tell you this much: this right here is going to tie Lesnar and Undertaker together for eternity in wrestling history.
Well, the fact that Taker never beat Lesnar on pay-per-view. Lesnar's 4-0 against him on pay-per-view now.
That reminds me, you know, now that you're bringing this up, about you saying how much more respect you have for Undertaker.
Absolutely.
I do have more respect now, but overall, I respect the fuck out of Undertaker so much because Brock owes his wrestling career, not owes, but the majority of his wrestling career to The Undertaker now. Because of this, and when his first run in WWE, Undertaker's done so much for Brock Lesnar.
Yes, he has. Yes, he
putting him
has.
over.
Now,
Yes, he has.
there are rumors out there now that Taker got taken to a hospital for concussion-like symptoms after the match. So,
Dude, he did not look good in there.
yeah, and
I gotta
apparently
hand.
Vince and Brock hopped in a car and followed the ambulance to the hospital. I don't know if it's true. It hasn't been confirmed
They
yet.
will be good friends for life for this. And I really think that this was one of those special moments for me as a wrestling fan, because I realize how unique Brock Lesnar is in pro wrestling history. He is so fucking unique. And to me, you could not, even The Rock and Stone Cold and Kurt Angle, who's even more legit than Stone Cold and The Rock. Like, Kurt Angle would be 1B, you know. But Brock Lesnar, dude, I mean, perfect. That is the way to go out, man. And I got to say this, though. It was hilarious when the referee counted to 3, and you would have thought that those wrestling fans heard for the first time that Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny weren't real.
Well, they found out that zombies don't exist.
Oh, wow.
That's what they found out.
Did you see the
Dead
looks
men
on
don't walk.
Oh, and kudos for giving us something that you didn't expect.
It was an awesome feeling, especially
Look,
because,
dude,
like,
look, goosebumps. I've got goosebumps. I
Even
just
the
thinking
Brock
about
Lesnar guy was in shock.
fucking fantastic, man.
fuck
Fantastic.
that guy for stealing my gimmick, by the way.
And by the way, Paul Heyman's promo tomorrow is going to be something to see.
I'm not
Dude.
gonna lie though, I was in shock too because I didn't think it was gonna happen. Like, I wanted Brock to win, but there's no way that I thought they were actually gonna go through with it.
No, I was in shock for a split second, and the shock.
Oh,
did
until I
not
saw the
last.
fans, of course.
No, I was in
Literally,
shock for. I went from. We counted 3. Yes, that's exactly how you end it. Yes, that was the perfect fucking way.
And
This
from
is
now
what I've been
on,
talking about for over a month. This was the way to go.
if they ever show the video
Dude, I
package
literally-
down the road, they have to show Heyman's reaction as part of it because Heyman sold the shit out of it.
He did. He was like, oh, "We won! We won! Oh my gosh, you did it!" You know? And then the fans. There was a fan in the crowd who was yelling, "You suck." to the Undertaker. This guy should.
Wait.
What the fuck, man?
Wait, the funny part is,
Yeah, but what about the fans? What about
the
fans
black
that
guy
have
with
been
that
saying
white Daniel Bryan?
Oh yeah, with the glasses.
Okay, look. The funny part is he was so detested. When Daniel Bryan came out for the main event, you can see like the split screen of him, and he's just standing there shaking his head still.
See, the crazy thing is, if Cena would have put Bray Wyatt over clean, there probably would have been the same amount of shock, you know. But not really. But
what about the people that have been saying though that they're mad about Lesnar winning because they wanted? There's been people saying because they wanted somebody more legit. It shows how blind.
Wait.
Wow.
Wait.
The fact they
It
threw
shows
more
how
legit.
blind some wrestling fans are to MMA. It shows how blind they are to like
Well,
MMA.
then they
because
wanted Cain
they're-
Velasquez to break the streak, you know.
No,
they
they
don't,
would have had a
because
problem with that too. He's a part timer.
And no, he should
they're
not.
looking
No,
at-
to me, retiring undefeated. I completely disagree. Because let's face it, 21-0 at WrestleMania is pretty absurd. You know, it did lead to some great those Shawn Michaels matches. My gosh, and the match with Punk is extremely underrated. And you know, it really got ramped up at the end because if you look at the matches before that,
Orton was probably the first really good one.
Yeah, well, the Batista one was.
Orton and Batista.
Yeah, Batista was the one where it really went to another level, but the Orton one was like when the streak really started to pick up.
I just got to clap again, man. Well done. You left the fans like, and you know, in this era where they talk about smarks, which I hate the word because I think it's an oxymoron. A smart mark, you know, a mark it's still real to me. Damn it, to me, that's a mark.
Well, there was some of those in the crowd tonight.
Well, yeah, but not necessarily though, because in the era of the oversaturation with information and stuff, to get that type of reaction out of the crowd, well fucking done, dude. The match was a 2 out of 5 for me. It wasn't that great, you know. When Lesnar picked him up out of the Gogoplata, you know that the second one was really cool. Of course, the Undertaker held on to his head to help him. Like the first time, his hands kind of slipped off, and when he hit that third F5, I was like, "Wait a minute, that's 3." You know, a lot of times 3 is the lucky number with finishers, and the referee's like 1, 2, 3. I went, "Yes!" And I started tweeting. I'm like, "Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah!" I was at a restaurant watching the show, and hey, for the next 6 pay-per-views, I'll be able to watch them at home.
Where would you rank the crowd?
WWE
You know what?
Network. I will
Those
let
fans
you
in the
guys.
crowd, bro.
I'm going to let everyone know what I think about the WWE Network now that I bought it tonight. Because this type of shit, the Cena thing almost fucking pulled me away from getting it. If what happened in the main event didn't happen, I wouldn't have got the network. But, man, did they... Oh, man. The wrestling tonight wasn't great, but the results, the moments, that's what made this WrestleMania. You know, was the moment like this, dude. You will never forget... When Undertaker, and if you're talking about such an iconic streak that so many people have gotten into, you could not ask for a better fucking reaction. You couldn't script a better reaction than what you got. That was the way to end it, dude. That was perfect.
The air went out of that.
We're okay. Out of because I think there's been 4 like legit, just like insane or just epic reactions this year. You had obviously the Royal Rumble and Daniel Bryan not being in it. You had the Monday Night Raw with Bryan turning on Bray Wyatt, and then you had Elimination Chamber with the Shields versus the Wyatts, and now you got this. Where would you rank this in terms of crowd reaction? Not cheering, obviously, but just overall.
As far as shock factor?
Not even shock factor, but just general crowd reaction. How epic was the crowd reaction?
This actually was more of a, like, it's still real to me, damn it, reaction than Stone Cold turning heel. And that is saying something. Because when Stone Cold turned heel, they cheered when he won. It was like, oh, yeah, but wait a minute, he's with Vince. What, huh? You know, this was just, what? That was, dude, the Easter Bunny's not real? You know, oh my gosh, bro, that was great.
Dead men don't exist.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh, man.
I loved it.
All the fans in the crowd, though, man. All the fans in the crowd were like, those fans in the crowd were like, it was that typical, like,
You know those fans.
Uh-oh.
Did we lose Jay?
I think so. Oh, and by the way, to punctuate this, I know...
They're just like,
oh, okay,
holy fuck.
they were. I'm sorry, Jay, you had cut out for a second. I didn't mean to interrupt. You had just cut out. But I think the best way, to punctuate the whole thing is tomorrow on Raw, even though the natural tendency of a pro wrestling company is to send Lesnar out there, and this really gets him over as a heel. Because a lot of people aren't going to look at it logically, But they're going to look at, oh, no, the streak's done. That's WrestleMania. I think the best way to do it is to have them come out and shake hands in the middle of the ring. And that, to me, would be like that photo
Taker
moment.
can make it.
Well, I think he'll make it. I mean, he may have a concussion. He'll be out of the hospital, But I much respect to the fucking Undertaker.
Oh, for Lesnar's entire time there now, they have to just show like him walking backstage and everybody just kind of just like getting out of his way. Like, this is the motherfucker who ended the streak. I don't even want to be around this guy.
Yes.
Yep.
And remember, in the storyline, he's coming for the belt. In the storyline the past couple months, he wants to be the champion.
Oh, him and Daniel Bryan be fucking.
Oh, I have my prediction already.
Well, I mean...
watch, next year. Lesnar's going into Mania next year as the champ.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. I think you guys are a little over-optimistic now, but... Yeah.
No, not optimistic. Booking is still going to be shit, but I just think next year I think you go fucking Bryan loses the belt to Cena, and then you have Cena lose the belt to fucking Lesnar at some point, and then you go into Mania with Lesnar versus Reigns.
Cena's going to avenge The Undertaker. Right?
No, he's going to avenge his own loss to Bryan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, believe me, they're over-optimistic.
Yeah. And then I think you go into Mania next year with Lesnar, Taker. Taker and, Reigns and Lesnar. That's why I think they go into Mania next year with.
They were in that boardroom, if...
All right, I'm going to respond to a comment. A guy says, you guys need to admit you were wrong about Undertaker disrespecting him. No, we weren't.
No.
Brock Lesnar did an interview about it, and he was talking about how him and Undertaker legitimately had a problem with each other at the time.
Yeah, even though he won, that doesn't mean that he wasn't disrespected by Taker.
Oh, dude,
it doesn't change the facts.
Whatever. Someone doesn't even do their research, when someone doesn't even do their fucking research and they tell you that you're wrong, just whatever. Again.
Water under the bridge. It is what it is.
It is. It is definitely water under the bridge for me now. 21-1 is nothing to sniff at. That's a pretty good career for a character. What was it? Nobody's gotten over 4 wins in a row or something like that. That's, hell of a run. Hell of a run for them.
I mean, even Lesnar's like 2-2.
Yeah. Fuck.
All right. I think he is anyway, 2-2.
So let's get to the main event.
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So anyway, I just want to say that I was definitely... This is actually what I said yesterday. I said, wouldn't it be cool if they just had Lesnar win? To just create a moment that no one sees coming. And now I didn't actually believe it was going to happen, obviously, but it did. Right? Now, where I watched it, it was me, my brother, 2 of my cousins, and his kids, and we're watching it. And when he hit that third F5, I was actually thinking the same thing you were thinking, Bruce. I was like, he's either they're really going to bury the F5 here, or, it's never going to be a sellable move ever again, or the streak's going to end.
By the way, Lesnar changed the script. There's a satire website, a website that's known for putting fake information out there that put this out there. And people are buying it.
Lesnar put over Cena. You really think that he's the type that will do that shit? Look,
no, he does business, people. As much as we hated him for putting over...
By the way, Elvis is still alive.
He does business.
Look, man. This guy came in. They had him put over Cena. He had to put over Triple H last year at WrestleMania, right? They had to give him some. They just had to, right? So I'm glad he got this. I'm glad he got the win.
Unbelievable.
to me.
Some of the stuff people believe on the internet.
You know, and by the way, I still don't understand why they act like Lesnar is some outsider that doesn't love the like. If he didn't love the business, why the hell would he be back?
That's been my question the whole time. If a guy goes and does it as a successful career like that, well, he's not committed like John. He's not
And by the
here.
way, this guy's like they gotta make a movie about Brock Lesnar. Like,
No, people get it confused. He loves the actual wrestling part. He hates the travel part. Like that's what he hates about it. He loves the actual.
Hey, hold on. Someone posted the article. Someone's trying to post the article from Hustlers, which is a fucking satire website.
You know, I'm just look.
It must be real. It's on the internet.
Look, NCAA champion. All right, NCAA champion. If I'm not mistaken, he had to come back after not winning the championship, and he came back and won it. Okay, overcoming adversity. He comes into WWE. I think he was a lot better on the mic back in the day than he is now, but it is what it is. But I think he had a hell of a run. He almost made the team in the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know the whole story with that, but it's still an achievement to get at least to the practice squad. And then he goes to MMA. He wins the championship there. And to me, that's not even his biggest achievement personally. The fact that he came back from that illness that he had, which doctors said he was done. Like they said, like, dude, like, you're probably gonna die. And not only did he come back, he came back to win another match in the UFC, which is astonishing. And he's still in great shape. He's still putting on pretty good matches, and he came back because he loves the business. He would not come back to wrestling if he hated the fucking business. He wouldn't, work with guys in an orchestrated match, okay, in something that's, not real, per se. It's scripted. He wouldn't work with people that he knows he'll whoop their ass. He wouldn't work with them if he didn't respect the business. What is it that people don't understand about that?
These guys just took the words out of my mouth.
I think, the elevator's not going to the top floor here with this topic. No. All right, let's just move on. So we get the Vicky Guerrero Invitational Divas Championship. AJ Lee won.
Thank God.
1 out of 5 stars.
God. A match sucked, but thank God she won.
Remember, I threw that out there in the preview. I said, it kind of feels like they're making it seem like there's no way she's going to win, and maybe she wins. So
I'm sorry, she's the best diva they got outside of Paige and Emma. Paige not on the main roster. Emma just got there. Thank God AJ won.
All right, and then we had the segment with Paul Orndorff. Wow, he looks like one of the Blackjacks now without the black hair. But Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper, and Hulk Hogan, and then Mr. T showed up. I pitied Foo. That was kind of cool. The original WrestleMania and having them all together. And if you're an older guy like me and Billy here on the panel, you probably watched it on VHS. E-style, and then the other guys probably saw it through the internet and whatnot or DVDs. But to me, that was cool.
Really cool moment. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was. All right, so we
Roddy
get to
Piper was the best in that.
Oh yeah, because he didn't want to shake anyone's hand. He was still kind of healing it up.
His reaction when he was trying to shake Mr. T's hand was fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's priceless. It was priceless.
And to all the people hating on Mr. T because of his Hall of Fame speech, grow the fuck up. Dude was out there giving thanks to his moms because she meant that much to him. Stop hating on the dude.
Oh, and if anybody knows anything about Mr. T, like any interview he's ever done, he always talks about how he's a mama's boy ever since back in the 80s.
I'm sorry, but I wanted Ultimate Warrior just to fucking beat the shit out of Kevin Nash at the Hall of Fame. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, boy.
And Mr. T beat Rocky Balboa. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, in the first match, in the rematch, not so well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cleverly. But so anyway, we get to the main event: Randy Orton against Batista against Daniel Bryan, triple threat WWE World Heavyweight Championship main event. Fuck yeah! Send the fans home happy here. You know what I'm saying? And I stuck to my guns this whole time about this. I said it was either the short or the long version of Raw review. For the go-home show, I said this pay-per-view's got to end with Daniel Bryan holding the belts going, yes, yes, yes. I said it in the preview. That's what we got. And the crowd is still in shock over the Undertaker's loss, which was hilarious. There was a lot of pouting going on in the crowd, but
Can we give Orton some props though?
he was trolling. Yes.
He was trolling. He looked to the crowd. I got this.
Yes.
Yes.
Orton has been really trolling through this whole thing, but
Nasty bump too.
But Daniel Bryan, in the early stages of the match, I liked the way that he was working over both Batista and Orton with his traditional spots. Pretty cool. They made Daniel Bryan look really fucking strong tonight. I mean, holy fuck. You want to talk about going all in with someone. Shit. So Daniel Bryan is in a dominant position. Here comes Triple H and Stephanie, and I'm like, oh boy. Triple H stopped a referee count by pulling the ref out of the ring, or maybe, I can't remember, was he in a submission? I can't remember now off the top of my head, but pulled the referee out of the ring. Ultimately, Daniel Bryan ends up hitting takes the ref out, hits a suicide dive on the ref, Triple H and Stephanie. Yeah, Stephanie. Well, he wasn't really that close to Stephanie, but they sold it like
he sold her ankle like a motherfucker.
She did. And then Triple H grabbed a sledgehammer under the ring, and he paused. He paused for a second and looked at the sledgehammer. I'm like, grab a shovel. Grab a shovel. Grab a fucking shovel under the ring. Come on. We were waiting for the shovel moment, but he grabbed the sledgehammer. And Daniel Bryan cuts him off. He hits Triple H with the sledgehammer. Randy Orton and Batista end up deciding they're going to work together to take Daniel Bryan out. Of course, they were nice enough to clear off the announce tables before. You know, folks,
you know what happened to Orton? They probably should have moved the monitor too.
How's that monitor? Jesus, man, they should have got that. That could have been bad. That is fine.
Well, if you guys are new to the channel here, I complain about this. Some people are probably thinking I'm a broken record, but why don't the announcers move the monitors and the microphones? Fuck. Why is it got to be the talent? It looks silly. Like,
it looks stupid when Orton's going back to clear it off, and there's just a pin on there. He noticed enough to swipe the pin off.
Oh gosh, dude. Yeah, he's like, no, this might, you don't want to hurt him too much here. It looks silly. I know it's kayfabe, but just one little thing I'd like to see changed. Earlier in the night, Triple H didn't do that. Remember?
Oh yeah.
They didn't even take the time to move the tablets or nothing. So. But in this case, they took, they moved. Let the announcers move them. I just don't get that. I hate the breakaway tables, but okay, enough complaining. Batista hits Bryan with a monitor, and Batista's like not able to get the monitor away. He just rips the wire, But Orton sets up the steps, the ring steps, and I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna do a fucking Batista bomb into an RKO immediately. That's what I thought, and. There were some CM Punk chants like, oh, come on, CM Punk, come out here and help him, Batista hits Daniel Bryan with the Batista bomb, and Orton caught him with the RKO, which wasn't really an RKO, but okay. Because when you're power bombing someone, they're not flipped around, but we'll take it. It's more of a neck breaker. On the table, and Randy Orton fucked his back up.
Landed on the fucking monitor.
Oh yeah, he's bleeding out his back. That didn't look like. He'll feel that one.
It hurted so bad.
I moved that shit out of the way so carefully, and you leave that shit.
I know.
The problem is they threw the monitor to the wrong side of the table.
Let's say this cool ass spot. Okay.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
Cool ass spot, and the EMTs show up and they put the neck brace on Daniel Bryan. I'm like, no, they're not. They're going to have Daniel Bryan get off the stretcher. They're really going all out here, So the EMTs put the neck brace on him, of course, all kayfabe. Batista starts working Randy Orton over. The medical staff, they're taking Bryan off in a stretcher. Daniel Bryan starts getting off the stretcher in the aisle like, I'm not done. He unbuckles himself and shit. I'm like, oh, yes. This is the way you put this guy over, man. This is the payoff. So Orton hits the DDT to Batista on the floor, which looked good. By the way, Batista, for as bad as he looked in his first couple matches, had a good showing tonight. Straight up.
To him wearing the Jordans tonight, too.
Oh, yeah, he wore them fucking Jordans that I remember when they came out. I was like, those are...
Oh, that's why you like them.
No. I don't really like that pair of Jordans. I mean, they look cool in theory and whatever. Wasn't it Russell Westbrook was...
He was the first one that was wearing them.
Yeah. But anyway, so he sends Daniel Bryan into the ring steps. He sends Bryan into the ring. Orton goes for the RKO. but Bryan counters it with the yes lock, the labella lock. The Batista breaks it up, so Daniel Bryan puts Batista in the labella lock, the yes lock. Orton breaks that up. Batista goes for the spear. Orton leapfrogs it, and Batista actually runs into Daniel Bryan's face. That didn't look good, you know. And Daniel Bryan goes out of the ring. Orton hits the RKO on Batista. I'm like, this has got to be a false finish. It's got to be. They didn't do all this stuff to fucking not have Daniel Bryan win. He hits the RKO on Batista, but he kicks out at 2. Then Daniel Bryan hits the running knee on Orton. Batista throws him out of the ring and steals the cover. Orton kicks out at 2. It's like literally both these guys in character and storyline sense help Daniel Bryan win by kicking out. Batista hits the Batista bomb on Randy Orton. Daniel Bryan jumps in the ring, hits the running knee on Batista, and made Batista tap out with the labella lock, the yes lock. Batista fucking put him over, dude.
Yep.
It's hard to call it.
Batista.
It's hard to, yes, exactly. And it's hard to call it. Batista took his spot. And then he's the one who ends up fucking doing the job.
You guys realize that a couple of years ago, Batista, when he left WWE, had done interviews saying that he thinks it's disgraceful that Daniel Bryan was World Heavyweight Champion and he shouldn't be a World Heavyweight Champion.
No. He just clarified those, though. He just clarified it, saying that he thought they put it on him the wrong way and too soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he respected him. No.
Dude, he says that he doesn't think he's worthy of being a World Heavyweight Champion.
He's changed his tune on that big time. He just did a recent interview about that. He's changed his tune big time.
Yeah, and now he's saying that he actually said that back in the day they wanted him to go out there and bury Bryan, but he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, yep. He refused to do it. He said, if we work a good match, yeah, but I'm not going out there and squashing him. He refused to squash him. But your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Bryan, the perfect way to end the pay-per-view. I stuck to my guns the whole time. Whatever happens in the future, happens in the future. We'll talk about it in the future. Daniel Bryan worked his way up through the fucking indies, through Japan, through ROH. No one ever thought this guy would get to this spot, and he did, and he deserves it. And in my, like I said, in my WrestleMania preview, I talked about it ending with him going yes with the belts. Oh, what a great sight. A little too much confetti, by the way. At the very end there, you couldn't fucking see him.
Fuck.
But I give the match. I thought that this was the best match out of the show. MG picked Bryan and Triple H. To me, this was it. And it was a 4 out of 5 match for me. Not 5-star. I mean, if you come to the website, you'll see what my 5-star WrestleMania matches are. It wasn't 5-star, but it was 4, which is still really, really good. I haven't decided what I'm going to score the overall pay-per-view yet. I'm not doing this just to get people to come to the site. I really haven't. I need to decompress and think about it, because where I score it is where I'm going to rank it amongst all the other WrestleManias. I need a little bit more time to think about that, but in the 30 Years of WrestleMania article, I'll put that on there. And we'll talk more about this in the VIP Overtime video on BlitzSportsNetwork.com. So we're going to go through like all the WrestleManias and stuff like that, and we're going to debate best WrestleMania, worst WrestleMania, best matches, worst matches, and stuff like that. But overall, this was a good WrestleMania. Other than Cena, and other than the wrestling, the actual wrestling throughout wasn't very consistent, and other than Cena, this was a very good WrestleMania, straight up. I was pleasantly surprised, and I mean, I don't have much to complain about. And that's why it's the most fulfilling feeling I've had out of a WWE pay-per-view since WrestleMania 28. Out of every WWE pay-per-view, I haven't felt this good coming out of a WWE pay-per-view since WrestleMania 28. I was fucking giddy after WrestleMania 28 because MG, you were trying to convince me there's no way Rock's gonna beat him. I'm like, fuck that. But you remember, and then he won, and we came on the podcast. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, bitches. I'm like, as they say, marking out, But this was a very fulfilling pay-per-view. Like I said, as soon as it was over, I held true to my word, even though I'm still not happy with what they did with Bray Wyatt. But for the rest of the pay-per-view, I was pretty happy. and I ordered a 6-month entry into the network now.
Hey, Bray Wyatt took one for the team. All right, he took one for the team.
No. No. Fuck it.
He's the guy that had to go out with a fat chick.
I will say this.
Go out with a fat chick, you know, for everybody else to get laid. Right.
I will say this, though. We'll see what happens in the next 6 months if I re-up that network thing, because when I signed up for it, they had a thing for anybody who signed up where they had it automatically checked, too, by the way, and I caught it. And I always read everything, where it would automatically re-sign you up, and I took that fucking check mark off because, we'll see where they're at in 6 months.
What an attachment from last year, too, though, if anyone remembers, Bruce, is after WrestleMania 29, you got The Rock and Cena giving right blowjobs in the ring and on the rampway, so it's a good year for you, Bruce. I feel better you didn't have to do that again.
Oh, last year, I kind of made an ass out of myself on YouTube. People love that video. It's called something like John Cena beats Rock rant or something. People still, dude, that was awesome.
You're real.
I cannot fucking stand Cena. And to me, The Rock was 1B to Stone Cold's 1A, and everybody's like, I was even in denial in the WrestleMania 29 previews. I'm like, no, fuck that. The Rock didn't come back to put him over. You know, fuck this. And in reality, there were a lot of reports that originally Cena was supposed to turn heel, and The Rock was supposed, that's the way that match was supposed to go down. And they came to The Rock at the last minute, kind of fucked him over, and said, well, no, we'd rather kind of go with this. And, The Rock, in fairness, probably thought, well, Stone Cold did that for me at 19. Hogan did that for me at 18. Maybe they didn't like me. I'll go ahead and do it for this fucking boring motherfucker, But I was fuming. This is a completely different feel. But who knows? They'll probably fuck up, they'll probably fuck up Extreme Rules. So we'll see what happens going forward. But for tonight, WWE, well fucking done. Other than the Cena and Bray Wyatt match, oh man, the results in the overall story of this pay-per-view, fantastic. I wish the wrestling was a little better, a lot better, but fantastic. And I'll turn it over to the boys.
Overall, like we said it at the beginning, and like I was saying on Twitter, this was a good pay-per-view if you like the moments coming out of it and the finishes coming out of it outside of Cena and Wyatt. Obviously, wrestling left a lot to be desired on the wrestling side of things.
Hey, MG.
Yo.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. I got to get this in before you get too far into your thing here. There's one thing that I want to add. Mm-hmm. Michael Cole, JBL, and Jerry Lawler, shame on you for underselling the fucking Lesnar streak ending. The Undertaker streak ending. Shame on you. Imagine Jim Ross calling the end of that match. That's all I'll say.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said we needed Jim Ross on commentary tonight. But, overall, coming out of it, you get the Shield squashing the New Age Outlaws, which I'm happy with. Cesaro winning the Battle Royal, which I'm happy with, and they made him look strong. Fuck Cena. Fucking had to just... We're just going to start, we're just going to... Bray Wyatt's part of the JTC, drop to Cena. Big surprise. Everybody is. AJ Lee, Divas Invitational wasn't much, but I'm glad she won because I'd rather see her with the belt than any of those other ones in there at this point. Triple H putting over Daniel Bryan clean as a whistle. Huge shocker. Huge. Did not see it coming. Stephanie didn't even interfere. So, shout out to Triple H for doing that. Give him all the crap you want to give him. He went out there and did the right thing tonight. Lesnar ending the streak. Probably the sweetest moment of the paper. Well, to me, it's the second sweetest because, Lesnar's the fucking man. Regardless if he ended the streak or not, Lesnar was going to be the fucking man. So, that was a sweet moment to me. But this pay-per-view, Daniel Bryan winning those belts, for the moment, I'm happy. I'm not happy with the prospects going forward because I know he's probably going to end up being a mid-card champion and they're not going to book it right, which I'm not looking forward to by any means. But in terms of being in the moment, couldn't be happier. This is the closest feeling I got to when Eddie, retained the belt at Mania. He didn't win it at Mania, but he retained it at Mania. And then you had, obviously, Benoit, who won it at Mania. This is the closest feeling I've had to that, because I've been a Daniel Bryan fan since, like, 03, 04. I've literally watched this guy wrestle all around the world, and I've seen how far he's come. So I couldn't be happier for the guy. Even ROH even put out a congratulative tweet for him. So for me, I'll always remember this as the Mania where Lesnar ended the streak, and Daniel Bryan walks out as the champion cleanly, booked as strong as you can book a guy. So I'm gonna go with like a 5.7 on this one, because I still wish there was better wrestling on the show, but it was definitely passing.
Yeah, the main event, I'll give it a 3.55. They had some really good spots in it. Definitely like the Batista bomb into the RKO. Then obviously the way they had Daniel Bryan go over, and they threw every fucking thing at the guy tonight. And originally I said I stood by that I did want to see Triple H walk out the titles just because I want to see those reactions and shit. But actually seeing it tonight in person, it was cool. So I'm fine with Bryan having it, for a while, see what they do with it. So I won't be too, I can have a night of not being negative, because we've been negative about WWE for, years straight, longer, who knows. Overall, the other stuff, the whole pay-per-view as a whole, give it a 6 out of 10, which is really, really high. That's for a WWE pay-per-view. It's the first one I've actually watched at my house since WrestleMania 28, so it's been quite a while. Like the Triple H Bryan match that started off, the wrestling could have been better, as MG said. I would like to see at least the Divas match. I think I'd love to see that be a ladder match. I think that could enhance that quite a bit. Because some of those girls I think can actually wrestle, like Natalia and stuff like that. I think someone can actually go. AJ can too. But it was good. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm feeling pretty good about tonight. I know that's going to evaporate really quickly, but thumbs up for him tonight. Oh, and respect to Undertaker and Rock on Lesnar. I'm done.
I enjoyed the pay-per-view for what I saw. I like I said, it started around halfway through the Triple H and Bryan match. The main event, I actually have no complaints about the main event other than too much Triple H. Dude, no one wants to see you anymore. Stay back. I don't know. It was just a little too much.
It's the story, though.
Yeah, I know.
Triple H holding him down. Finally got his get back at him. Hit him with the sledgehammer. Hit the outside dive on the ref and Stephanie.
I thought the get back was beating him in the first match. I don't know. I guess me personally, I just didn't want to see him and his big nose out there. Literally sticking his big nose. If it was up to me, just let the three guys work, do a great match. Can it just be about the wrestling, please?
I'm talking about the star of I Smoked What You Ate Last Summer.
So, other than that, I'm not saying it was horrible that it was out there. It's just, I get it. Triple H is thinking to himself, well, I got to be out there to help out with the star power, or something. I could picture him thinking that to himself. So, I don't know. But I'm glad Bryan won. Once Lesnar beat the Undertaker, I don't know why, I just knew it's a wrap. I just knew Bryan was going to win.
Yeah, it's the same for me.
It's a wrap. He's going to win. It's their way of having a good guy come out on top now, and I think it was perfect, man. I think it was just a good ending overall. I would have loved to have seen some blood, personally. Did anybody bleed tonight? There was no bleeders.
Randy Orton after he landed on that monitor.
That was legit.
There's a rumor Ric Flair bladed tonight. We didn't see it.
I think Triple H's nose was busted open during the first match too.
Of course, that fucking thing.
I think Bryan caught him with one of those drop kicks in the corner.
Well, it's easy to catch that nose. I mean, you can't miss it. But anyway, like whatever he has to kiss Stephanie like sideways. He has to like turn sideways. No, but anyway, with that said, good match. I think it was a very good match. I can't put a rating on it personally. I'm not good with that stuff. I'm just being honest. But I think it was a good match, good solid match. Props to them. Props to letting Daniel Bryan win with his finisher. And that's that. I mean, there's nothing to say other than it was a good ending to the show. We'll see where it goes from there. I'm starting to think to myself whether they're trying to suck me back in.
Yep.
Because now I'm wondering, because I'm really interested to see what happens now with Lesnar. I want to see is he gonna, this is what I would like to see. I would like to see Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam. Right, I think that's what they should do. That's my opinion. That would be an ultimate underdog versus a beast. But that's me. But with that said, good pay-per-view. By the way, I think I agree with the wrestling. The wrestling, it could have been a lot better. It just could have, but they want to stick to the moments.
That's what it's always been built on, moments.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Oh, one more second before you go, Jay. I had to give props to CM Punk for not coming back. Way to stick to your guns, bro. Had he been there, probably this card looks a lot different, and it might not have been for the better. The outcomes might have not been for the better either. So, shout out to CM Punk for sticking to your guns and saying you're not putting up with this anymore and not coming back no matter how much the fans clamor for it. Do you, bro? Be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of things that D-Style was saying. Well, I think we all agree on it, though. But WrestleMania, it's typically not about the wrestling anyways. But as long as they give us the outcomes, which for the most part they did tonight, definitely was, disappointing the Lesnar-Taker match itself, because, I don't know, usually Taker's matches, especially the last couple of years, have stolen the show, but obviously it's clear that, because I know that Lesnar and Taker have good chemistry in the ring together. I think it's just mainly that Taker was so worn down, got winded too fast, but definitely the outcome was awesome. Was awesome for that match, and Daniel Bryan, I'm still gonna stand by saying, because it's how I feel. I'm not a huge Daniel Bryan fan, but I'm not gonna deny what needs to be done in the situation. And they did the right thing with Daniel Bryan, so the fans definitely can't be unhappy about that. The Bray Wyatt thing it is what it is. It's what I expected. Like I said before, then you never get every outcome you want. But definitely the outcome of that Cena and Bray Wyatt match should have been different. Cesaro throwing Big Show over the top rope is pretty cool. I think that's a good choice because I definitely thought they were going Sheamus for the win. That's what I thought at least. And a lot of the other matches I didn't even pay attention to be honest with you. But I'd say overall, I enjoyed watching it. I thought the setup was cool. It felt like an actual WrestleMania. I didn't feel that way last year, and the outcomes were awesome. So, I'm not going to expect some big changes from WWE or anything going into the future. You know what I mean? It's just it's WrestleMania. It is what it is. The show was a pretty good WrestleMania. So, but. I'm definitely not going to sit here and be like, oh, everything's is changing or something. It's not going to really work that way.
Yeah, prove it to us. And here I want to throw one thing in as we end this. Okay, first of all, you can find D-Style. You find him on YouTube. D-Style Boxing, same Twitter handle, right?
Yes.
D-Style Boxing. Man, I love having D-Style on here. He's so polished with his speaking. And then you've got Billy. You can find him on YouTube, Scatterjagged. YouTube is at Billy Ray MJ. You can find Jay on Twitter at JohnJ06.
The Brock Lesnar guy.
The Brock Lesnar guy. You can find Mad Genius. You can find him on Twitter and on YouTube. He does a lot of wrestling stuff. This guy knows the indies, the international. He does NXT reviews. Man, he's really good at what he does. Virtuoso Sports. Do me a favor. Virtuoso Sports on Twitter and YouTube. Support these guys. But I want to end this with with saying this. We've been accused of being negative on the WWE just for the sake of being negative. We stuck to our guns for a long time about what we wanted. And other than the Cena thing, we got it tonight. So you saw firsthand, we are not negative about the WWE just to be negative. We know what we want, and we're not going to settle for less than that. So, subscribe to the channel. Thank you if you already have. Please like the video below. We always appreciate when you hit that like button. Visit my channel for my other videos on the NFL, NBA, big playoff coverage coming for the NBA, MMA, boxing, and pro wrestling. And BlitzSportsNetwork.com subscribers, we're going to be filming our big 30 years of WrestleMania VIP, WrestleMania 30 overtime video here shortly, and I will post it as soon as I can on the website. So thank you everyone for tuning in. WWE, well done, and get Cena out of the fucking way, and it's all good. So
Yeah, thanks for throwing us a bone for once. Shit.
yes, thank you. And we're out, and fuck Cena.